Welcome to the Yukon in North 61. Today I thought I'd talk about a couple of really great pieces of gear. I'll make two little videos today. So last year we went on our first real significant sheep hunt, and we did two trips. One of 8 days where we got weathered in, so we were gone for about 10. We're going crazy. So that first trip, we were 8 days for the first trip, then weathered in so we were gone for 10 days. We got some snow and real cold weather in September. The second trip, we were supposed to be away for 4 days, and we were away for about 6 days. We got weathered in again, and that was in a September trip, so it was even colder. First trip we used a Soto Windmaster, good stove, a canister stove. Second trip we used an MSR wind burner, and probably a more efficient stove in the wind. And boy, the wind starts to blow, it seems to get hotter. It's really great, which seems to always be blowing. But I wasn't 100% sure that either of those stoves would be good for all conditions. One thing that can happen in the Yukon is it can get cold at almost any month. Today, for example, it's minus 28 last night, and it's still minus 20. So I've had this stove sitting outside for the last 2 hours. So it's going to be at about minus 20, minus 22 maybe on the deck. And I think this is probably the canister stove I'm going to favor. So this is the Optimus Vega, and it's about 7 ounces. It comes with a nice windscreen. Looks a little bit like the MSR stoves that are set up for white gas, but it has the convenience of the canister. And so here is what the windscreen looks like. So that's very similar to the MSRs. So what I like about this stove is it's got two modes. It's got an efficiency mode where this canister is this way, and it's got a cold weather mode where you flip the canister and it sits on that little base. And why is that important? So it's important to understand how these canisters work. So these canisters are full of 3 gases, and it depends on the mix. You can get slightly different mixes. Butane, and butane reaches a liquid state at about 0 degrees centigrade, or 32. After that it gasifies. So anything below 32 Fahrenheit, you're actually getting it as a liquid. Isobutane is a different derivative of butane, with a slightly different chemical structure, such that at minus 18, or 0 degrees Fahrenheit, it liquefies. So below that, which is we're about there now, you probably have 2 liquids in this tank. One of them is the butane, one is the isobutane. It's also got a little bit of propane. And the propane stays a gas till minus 40. So when it's in this condition, the liquid will probably be at the bottom, the gases will be at the top, and you'll burn off the gases. So you'll burn off the propane. You might get enough heat to burn off some of the isobutane. The butane will likely stay cold because you've also got a refrigerant thing going on. So that means these canister stoves, when it's cold out, are a little bit dangerous to use because they might stop working. You might not be able to get all the fuel out of here. And the terrible thing is, when it's really cold is when you need heat the most, because that might be the only way to get water, is to burn snow. Or not burn snow, but melt snow. So by doing this, you now have the gas at the top pushing the liquid out, and you've got this device here. So just take a look at this. This little piece of metal here is a classic vaporizer tube. So once you get this started, this is going to vaporize the liquid in that tube, and it becomes a liquid fuel stove. So you'll be able to use this whole canister even at cold temperatures. So you start it like this, using the gas Once it's started and you're getting lots of warmth into this vaporizing tube, you simply flip it. The energy goes up from about 5,000 BTU to about 12,000 BTU, so you get more power for melting snow, and you're also now driving this as a liquid with the gas staying at the top, and you're going to be able to use this whole canister. So you've got efficiency in warm weather. You never have to do that. You can just keep it like this, and you can get probably 20-25 boils, 2-cup boils out of this little 4-ounce canister. Or you shoot it like this, and you get much faster boil times, and you go right down to cold weather. So this becomes a really, really useful stove. And I don't recommend it, but I've had this been working at minus 30 centigrade. So it really reduces the need for a liquid fuel stove burning gasoline. And the gasoline stoves are great. They're a little heavier, and they're a little bit less handy and usable. So I really like this stove. So let's fire her up and see how it works. So let's get her going. How much easier is that than the general MSR gasoline or kerosene stove? You got to preheat. Right now I am preheating with the gas, and once I got some nice color going in that tube, I flip this canister over and I'm burning liquid. And I won't demonstrate a boil. I could. It gets good boil time, got good heat. I'm using an MSR Titan pot, and it's got really nice supports. So that is probably the safest stove for one of these canister stoves that you could take, because it's got those 2 modes. I really, really like it. It's a little heavier at 7 ounces, but I'm strong enough that 7 ounces doesn't much matter. You can feel you got a lot of heat coming out of there now. Also nice and quiet. All right. So that is the Optimist Vega stove. Great choice.